Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where I was actually unable to figure out what exactly was going on there because it never actually got going. So, the thing is, it's possible that, let's see here, the world hex has the mono behavior. We can grab the time manager from the manager, right? From hex manager. Hang on. What do we call that? Manager dot. Manager has a reference to it, right? I think business does. Yes, indeed it does. We can do that and not even have the find or the get component call at all. GameObject.find actually it was. So that could work. The other thing that we could do is we could go into the tooltip and to speed, or not the tooltip object, we can come in here and rather than doing this, now this doesn't have any awareness of anything whatsoever. That said, what if instead of doing this in start, what if we were to comment out this entire block and instead, when we add in a tooltip object, we could assign it there, potentially. I mean, we're still going to need a reference to it. And it can be assigned by building hex, which is a mono behavior, or by world hex, which is a mono behavior. It can also be assigned by biome hex, and potentially a few other objects. So, I mean, we're going to be doing this thousands and thousands, potentially even millions of times. So the best way to do this, well, no, we're not going to do it millions of times because of our pooling. So the best way, we're going to do it thousands of times, for sure. I think it said like 2,600 of these or something like that. Now, obviously, if we start like this, we're not going to have good tooltips. But I just want to know if this actually works. Like, does this allow us to actually, you know, make the world? So my question is, why did the biomes not work? Was it just not getting the time manager and then outputting tons and tons and tons of errors? It's a possibility. The question is, why would it not be getting the time manager, though? The time manager's right here. I have no idea. Let's run this, and if it doesn't work, by 4 minutes in the recording, I will end Unity in Task Manager. Okay, it worked. Now, I've got null reference exceptions. A lot of them. In time-aware object line 47, of course. Where's this being called from? Building, line 142. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Okay. So this is a time-aware object non-MB from business, or not business, from building, which is not on that bar there. We'll pull it open here. Line 142 from building line 137 from worldhex.generateBiomes at line 149. That's the one we're really interested in, I think. Line 149. Building equals new building time manager. Okay. So in the business, when is the manager assigned? Is this in start? This is all this nonsense here. This is assigned... by what, exactly? Is that the problem? This is a time-aware object. Protected virtual void start manager.timeaware non-mb.add this. Uh-huh. So in the building, when we're here, and we do a creation of the building, where's our constructor? Here's our constructor. Manager equals manager, and then we call start. Okay. So we pass in our manager here. My only question is, when does building get its manager? It's a time-aware object, so manager equals it's in start. I think we have to move that over to awake. Okay, let's check that. As soon as it compiles up. Okay, well this is not substantially fast. Delivery.awake hides inherited member timeaware object.awake. You're not wrong. Okay. I think this is not going to work. I'm gonna go ahead and end Unity Editor here. And we'll fire it right back up. And in we go. Okay, now let's go ahead and... I don't want to make it override it. Or actually, I do. So private override void awake. That's not going to work immediately, but I want to do base.awake. And then we put in this. And then we do want to go into our timeaware object here. This is virtual. Delivery timeaware object. Oh, it's because it's private. We'll make it protected. Okay, and then timeaware object, that's also protected. Okay, perfect. So the question is, why did that not work? Well, timeaware object is find object of type. And that's not necessarily ideal, but that shouldn't cause it to be as slow as it was, because the number of time-aware objects that are mono behaviors is actually quite low. At least in comparison. Okay. Let's see if that worked. Tooltip object.tooltip will always have null. Yep, that's assigned, but its value is never used. Accurate. Okay. Let's give this about 30 seconds or so. It should not take longer than that. If it's going to take longer than that, then we have a problem. And it looks like it's going to take longer than that. I think... I'm going to go ahead and end it again. I think the problem might be related to the tooltip objects. So let's go ahead and go to our... no. Get back here. Let's go ahead and put this back in. Because I think it might be outputting a million null reference exceptions. Like, potentially literally a million. Well, potentially literally 13 million. We'll see if that's the case. It'll take a couple of seconds for that to happen. For this start. Shouldn't take this long, though. I keep coming back to... Firmware object non-MB doesn't have a constructor. Why doesn't it have a constructor? How are we using it? Oh, we're just doing it in the building constructor, aren't we? Yeah, that's where we're doing it. Okay. I'm gonna let that run for a little bit while we try to isolate down in the code why this might be going so long. If Unity gets there, it'll pop it open, and then we'll be able to maybe see some details. But for right now, we're just gonna keep doing this. So, let's see, what did we change? Well, we changed this equals manager.business.manager. So then we came into the business and we were like, when is the time manager here set? And the time manager here was set in the time aware object, which we moved over to awake. And at that point, this started to happen. Okay. So what happens if we don't generate biomes again? Is it a problem in generate biomes? Well, I don't exactly know, because Unity is not responding. I'm gonna go ahead and end that again, and we're gonna comment out generate biomes for now. We're gonna relaunch Unity again. And in we go. We're gonna see if it works with the biomes not generating. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Looks like it does. Okay. So with the biomes generating, or with biomes not generating, it works fine. Otherwise it does not. So we know that it's something to do with this change that we made, right? So I think it definitely has to do with this line. New building, time manager. And time manager is set to be manager.business.manager. Now this is done in start. The other thing that we could do is we could move this back to start. Show potential fixes. Rename start to awake. Wait, I'm confused. What did that actually do? That didn't do anything though, right? It was start before. I named it awake. Yeah, I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be, right? I think so. Okay, so let's head into our world hex here, and maybe we would need to... This is in start, so all of the awakes should be done by then. Let's just, right here, debug.log, and we're going to debug.log manager.business.manager. That's all we're going to do for every world hex. We're going to see how long that takes. Okay. Scripts time manager. That is correct. That's what is expected. So the question then is, what is going on in Generate Biomes? So let's go ahead and not declare this. And down here, instead of passing in time manager, we'll just directly pass in manager.business.manager. We'll see what that does. Maybe it does something? Maybe it just continues going for a really long time again. Who can tell? Not me. We'll find out. We'll give this until 16 minutes in the recording. About 25 total seconds. It shouldn't take longer than that, realistically. Maybe it will. That looks like it's not going to go. It's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, I'll go ahead and end it. We'll fire back up Unity. And back in we go. And the main question is, what is in Generate Biomes that could be causing it to take that long? Well, every building can be outputting a null reference exception. And remember, there's there's 73 buildings per biome hex, 73 biome hex per world hex, and then there is 50 by 50, so 2,500 times 73 for biome hexes times 73 for building hexes. So there's 13.3 million, and if it's outputting one or more errors for every building, that would be what we're seeing. So the question is, why would it be outputting errors here? So, I mean, realistically, we should have the information that we need here. We've verified that manager.business.manager is working correctly, although I do want to rename it to time manager, just to be a little more clear. Okay, so we know that that's happening. In the building, what do we actually do with that information? We just set it in the time-aware mono behavior, right? I'm pretty sure that's all we do. Manager equals manager, and then we call start. It calls base start, which time-aware object start is manager.timeaware non-mb.add this. And then we do manager.minute tickers.add this if we tick on minute. Okay. Interesting. So let's go ahead and go into the tooltip object here quick. And comment this back out. Go into world hex, make sure that our generate biomes is commented out. There we go. And let's go ahead and run this. See just how fast this is. Fairly is the answer. Okay. So, I mean, obviously, this is not properly set up, but that's honestly fine. I mean, that's sufficiently quick right there. So what I'm thinking right now is we should probably go ahead and swap generate biomes from a void to an IE numerator. Like so. And of course, we don't currently do anything here. Object of a type convertible to IE numerator. Oh, right, because of this. Return null? Because we just don't care about doing it. Yeah, okay. So, what loop do we want to do this in? I'm thinking right now that we want to do it in this loop. This setup here should, I think, be pretty quick. But we want to do this in this loop, which is to here, right? No, wait. It's to here. Yeah. So then we would yield return no. And I don't really want to yield here. I want to just break. How do we break out of an IE enumerator? I actually don't know. Unity, coroutine, return null? Because I want to just, I don't want to yield return null because that will come back the next frame. What I want to is I want to just break. Essentially. Break out of a coroutine at this point. So just place a return. Yeah, I don't like it. Compiler doesn't either. This is saying yield break. The yield break statement indicates that the iterator block should exit early without returning more elements. That sounds right. Okay. Sounds good. And then rather than calling generate biomes here, this would be start coroutine, generate biomes. Like so. Okay, that should allow us to actually get some information out of this. It's probably still going to be really slow, but that's okay. It's going to go through the first hex here, and then it will return the next frame. Really? Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and we're going to see what exactly this is doing in the next episode. See you all then. Oh, wait. Wait a moment. Okay. It's still very, very slow. Okay, I clicked the pause button. I'm going to wait until the next frame. I'm still going to put a cut in here, and next episode, we're still going to figure out what's going on there. See you all then.